I'm Tony Robbins in for Piers Morgan, back with my three most incredibly successful men in America, Mark Cuban, Steve Wynn, and T. Boone Pickens. I wish you could be here during the break and see some of the passion that's going on here about what do you do to turn the country around. Not everybody agrees. There's some things they do agree about. Listen, this is a very short segment. I've got all of you here. If you could do one thing, you're President of the United States, you could do one thing to make a difference in this economy, in our culture, and our ability to grow America again, what would it be? Boone, I'll start with you since the playoff.
Get on your own resources. We have the cheapest oil, the cheapest gas in the world, and we have the resources in America. Just get on your own resources. The countries that are successful around the world are those that are on. There's no country in the world that's on their own resources that's struggling. And we have the resources. Washington does not understand.
I'd say recognize that intellectual capital is our best resource. That we
because
have
of the scalability?
Well, just because we have the most brains of any country in the world, and that we're innovating
you just
more
offended
rapidly.
268 other countries, but
that's okay. But we're innovating more rapidly than any other country, so we have to continue to invest in them. But the challenge is all those people who aren't selling their intellectual capital. They're using their hands. They're using their time in order to make a living. We have to retrain them.
So we've gone from this low knowledge, low skill, low cognitive decision-making culture to a place where it's high tech, high knowledge.
Software is taking over everything.
If you don't get that, you don't win.
And if you're not capable of participating in the workforce at that point, then you need to be retrained, and we need to get kids in school to the point where they can participate in that environment.
We're training kids today for jobs that used to be instead of the future.
Exactly.
And we're in a situation today where we're seeing people struggle because they just don't have the tools.
And that's not going to change.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, if you were president, what would you do? Steve?
Just listen to these two guys just now.
Yes.
The one thing you asked me if I could do to make the world of America a better place.
Yes.
Somehow have a notion of humility take over in Washington with regard to what the government is capable of doing successfully.
As opposed to private enterprise?
He has an energy policy that would be successful. Trust him to execute it. He says we've got to retrain people. Have a government that rewards by not collecting taxes people who successfully retrain citizens. That is to say, turn the attention to rewarding citizens who do what we want by not collecting taxes from them, and those people will start to retrain people, and people will start to find new sources of energy. But that would require a change in attitude in Washington that I would call introducing humility.
Give me one sentence. What is America's greatest strength going forward?
Our people.
People, but let me add one thing.
Uh-oh.
That if we get on our own resources, we can get out of the Mideast.
Yes, I get
And
it.
we've depended on that oil over there for 40 years, and we don't need it. Get the hell out of there, and we'll quit getting our people killed.
Steve, what's America's greatest strength? What do we have to look forward to?
Individual initiative, greed, the sense to do better in life, to have a better life.
And if you add to that, the most patriotic thing you can do as an American is get filthy, stinking rich, and then pay lots in taxes so we can do all these things we talked about.
I'm sure that'll struck many people in our audience.
Government going to do it?
This conversation is going to continue after we've continued to roll, I have a feeling here.
Ridiculous.
Thank you for joining us tonight.